The abilities in this game, I said in the past, were really good. I definitely overestimated that a bit. Obviously, there's definitely some good abilities in this game. I was right in that regard, but I didn't realize how many forgettable and situational abilities there are. And as you know this channel, and you've seen the ability rankings from these certain games, you know that I say the word situational a decent amount, so expect it in this video as well. But I do actually like a decent amount of the abilities in this game, and I'm only going to be ranking the 8 abilities. I will be counting Balloon Mario and Blue Shell Mario for this list. I will be counting them, but I won't be counting stuff like the normal jump or the normal hammer, and I won't be counting Bowser's punches or Bowser's flames. I will be counting the moving punch, and I was really debating about the flames because you don't have it when you wake up at KV Cape, but you do have it when you're just with Kamek walking around in Dibblewood right at the beginning of the game. So I decided I'm not going to count the flames, and it wouldn't even be that interesting of a ranking anyway if I included them. So because of that, I'm not going to be including the flames. But of course, there's still 8 rankings, and there's definitely a varied opinion for this list, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But first, before we get started, I am still trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before summer break starts, so if you could subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, or tell a Mario RPG fan to subscribe, I really appreciate that. But let's actually get started in this video now. The Blue Shell ability had potential, kind of like the ball hop from Dream Team. But oh my god, here are the developers with the Blue Shell. Oh my god, the developers just shunned the Blue Shell out of existence. They did not want you guys using the Blue Shell. You mainly use it maybe 5 times at most. 5. The whole game, you're using it at most 5 times. That's so sad, and it's kind of funny to think about. I literally forgot about this ability existing. There's only 8 abilities I was going to be ranking, and I forgot about one of them. If I forgot about one of the bros attacks that's existing in this game, that makes sense. There's 16 of them. But here, I forgot one of the 8 abilities. 8 abilities is not that much, so it's really sad that I actually forgot one of them. And when I realized that the Blue Shell was the one ability that I forgot, I mean, I kind of knew that it had to be at the bottom. It was a given. I literally forgot about it. That's how I instantly knew. But the other thing is that even when you're using this ability, it's annoying to control. You have to line up the bros perfectly to line up where the shell should go. And sometimes it shoots diagonally, which is really dumb. Why would you need to shoot the shell diagonally? Why would you do it? When do you do it throughout the game? Well, I mean, you barely use it, so I mean, I can't really think of one. That shows! There's so little times that you use it, and it's annoying to control. Every single time you jump with Mario as well, the shell is gone, which means that you have to go back to a shell block, which is more annoying than you think, especially because I just like randomly jumping throughout the game. So because of this, it's just very annoying to control, and I don't like it that much. I think it had potential. I think it could have been good, but it just wasn't. I think that the developers just needed to use it more. More than 5 times. Come on. Just a quick disclaimer, I don't actually know the names of these abilities, like, at all. So I just had to use my intuition alone, just try to guess what the abilities' names are. So I'm just gonna call this one the Shell Slam. The Mario Wiki was not specific enough, which is kind of annoying, but I'll get over it. So the Shell Slam here is not very good. I think it had potential, just like the Blue Shell, but it just seems so basic what they did with the Shell Slam. All you really do with it is just slam on pink switches. And that's it. I mean, there's only 3 other times I can actually think of that you don't use it on pink switches. And that's riding a coaster in Bowser's Castle and then breaking down platforms in Bubsy Plains and the Bowser Castle path. That's it, though. That's all I can think of. And that's really disappointing. I think it had potential. Like I said, the Bowser coaster thing where you had to use the Shell Slam and it launched you, that was probably the best use of it out of any part in the game. And they could have done something even more creative with it, but they just didn't. At the very least, it's memorable, and, I mean, it does work control-wise. It just should have been used in a better fashion, instead of just turning on pink switches. Like, come on, it could have been way more. The Mini Mario ability is not that great. I mean, once you get the drill, what's the point of using the Mini Mario ability? I don't even know why the game designers are forcing you to continuously use it. It's dumb. There's no reason to. The only intrigue about it is that you get to play as only Mario. And that's it. The other intrigue in it is that, well, there is none. Because it's a basic ability. I mean, it's the first ability that you learn in the game with Mario and Luigi. Unless you're counting stuff like the hammer or the jumps. So it gets to be basic. It has to be basic. So it makes sense. But they did it better in games like Dream Team and Superstar Saga. So when I compare the Mini Mario ability from this game to those games, it just makes this game's Mini Mario worse, just naturally, which is a bit disappointing. But the reason why it's not at number 8, why it's not at the bottom, because out of the 3 that we talked about, I do think that the Mini Mario ability is the least unique. But the reason why it's not at the bottom is because I can't actually find a way to improve this thing. I mean, the Mini Mario ability is always going to be basic. There's nothing you can really do with it. And that's why I have it at number 6, because the bottom 2 I could actually see improvements for. But for the Mini Mario ability, I just can't. It's a spin jump. I wish it went on for a bit longer, but that's it. It's just a spin jump. I wish it went on for a bit longer than Partners in Time, which would have been the longest spin jump aside from Dream Team, I think. But that's it. That's literally the only thing I have to talk about here. I mean, it's just a spin jump. All you do is use it to get over gaps. It works. It controls fine. You can go into tornadoes to get longer distance. That's it. That's all this thing really has. Again, it's just a spin jump. I enjoy Balloon Mario, and I know 100% that's not its name, but I'm going with it. So Balloon Mario is pretty fun to use. It's basically just a lightweight jump and just a feather falling, but it's still really fun to use. If you jump off a really high mountain or just a really high place in general, you just start falling really slowly, but then you get faster and faster and faster, which is pretty fun, especially because of the mini games. Well, not really mini games, but just the coin setup in places like Plaque Beach where you're trying to get the third stage. There's just coins falling and I'm trying to get every single one, and it's definitely a fun experience. But the main reason it's not any higher is because you have to be right by an air place to actually get Balloon Mario. It makes sense, don't get me wrong, but since I can't use it all the time, it is a bit sad compared to the top 3 abilities from this game. The Spin Drill is the best Mario and Luigi ability, which is a bit sad to think about, but since this isn't number 1, I'm gonna let it slide. So the Spin Drill is just a normal spin drill. It has utility, and that's why it's in the top 3. It goes under walls, it goes under gaps of walls, and it collects beans. That's the main thing it does, and that's why it's at number 3. It collects beans. Beans are so useful to buff your stats, and the Spin Drill is the way to get them. And that's why it's so high. And also, going under walls basically replaces the Mini Mario ability, which is also pretty nice, as expected. So because of that, I think that the Spin Drill deserves to be pretty high, especially because it is the best Mario and Luigi ability, compared to Bowser's abilities in this game, which Bowser's abilities are just objectively better. I'm sorry, but they just are, okay? It's just how it works. I mean, think about it. We've only talked about one Bowser ability so far, and we've flown past every single Mario and Luigi ability here. That shows. That really shows. The moving punch feels so simple. And it is. It's just a sliding punch. Punching while sliding. That's it. But let me tell you, if you're not using this ability all the time before you get the spike ball and when you're just naturally moving around, you're weird. Like, seriously, there's something wrong with you. Because 1, it's faster normally, and 2, it's just more fun to move around like that. And the other thing, another attribute that I just thought of actually, is that it makes it easier to perform first strikes, because you're constantly punching and you move fast and far. So you can just randomly run into an enemy and then do that initial damage, which is pretty nice, especially for someone like me that likes to fight every single enemy in one area. So because of that, it makes it much easier. Again, it's much faster, and even though it's a simple ability, it's just so much more fun to use. But once you get the number 1 ability, it does get replaced, and that is why it's only at number 2. Even though you're using this ability throughout the entire game until you learn that number 1 ability, the number 1 ability is just objectively the best. The Spike Ball is my favorite ability in any Mario and Luigi game. Like, I don't think that's ever gonna change. I said that this game's abilities are probably the best in any Mario and Luigi game because of the Spike Ball. and maybe a bit of the sliding punch, but the spike ball especially. The spike ball is so fun to just naturally use. When you're just going across the world, just use the spike ball. It's fast and it's somewhat slippery, but it works because that feels natural with the spike ball's controls. And I think that the spike ball is just a better version of the bros ball. They both control fine, but the main reason I like the bros ball a bit less is because you have to ditch the babies to use the bros ball naturally, which isn't that good because of that. But here with the spike ball, just use it freely. You get to use it whenever you want to, which is so fun, and it's so nice because of that. But the other thing is that I've only talked about just you moving with the spike ball. You also get to climb walls. You also get to just sling yourself like a pinball machine. There's so many things that Peach's Castle does with the spike ball that's very unique and very fun. This is objectively, or at the very least, a very high placing ability for any Mario and Luigi game. And that's why I enjoyed the spike ball from Bowser's Inside Story. Thank you guys for watching this video. My next video will be on... I think it's gonna have to be on Sticker Star. I know, it sucks, but I feel like I have to talk about the game. We're getting close to 600 subs, and I haven't even talked about the 400 sub game yet. I'm sorry, but we have to talk about this game. If we want to get to Superstar Saga, we have to talk about Sticker Star. So because of that, next video will probably be on Sticker Star. But I'll see you guys in the next video if you guys show up. You probably won't because of Sticker Star, but hopefully. See you guys in the next one.